Hey everyone, how's it going? In today's episode, I'm going to try and do a pull request to Supabase, technically a library used by Supabase, which is called GoTrueJS. I think that's right. Yep, GoTrue-JS. So I've already forked it, and here it is. And why am I doing this? The reason is so I can get the Twitter provider right there. Um, so if I comment this, and then if I uncomment this, I get a ESLint, TSLint feedback that says I can't use provider, or I can't use Twitter because it's not assignable to this type provider. Did a little digging and to locate where's provider coming from. And it's coming from Supabase, but if you on Windows hold Control and then in Mac it's Command and click provider, in TypeScript knows all the references, so it'll take you right to the source file within Node modules, and we can see it's the GoTrue repository. So here's the type for provider, and then I went on their repository and made sure that I had the latest and checked whether Twitter had been incorporated into latest, and it has not. So I'm going to pull request them. Now I also know in the Supabase UI I upvoted an existing issue. I need to figure out how to update my tweets. Whenever I go live, it tweets an incorrect old tweet. Anyway, so I upvoted this and I said, pretty sure it's the same issue, right? But this issue is saying Twitter and Apple OAuth buttons. So I'm wondering if Apple is also ready. So let's test out Apple. So here the UI component works. I put Twitter, even though it doesn't want me to. I force it anyway. And if I go to my local host, I have a Twitter button. And that's how I know that the UI button is working. And then also, if you click it, it tries to log you into Twitter. You can go see my last stream, Moonlog #1. It's 0 index, so that was actually the second episode. This is the third. So there's a problem with the actual Twitter integration, but it's trying to do the right thing. So I know that that's trying to do the right thing. Let's see if the Apple button even shows. I commented that I'm kind of ornery because I like to put this stuff in alphabetical order, and I noticed Supabase did too. So that was beautiful. If you go look at provider, Azure, Bitbucket, Facebook, Google, GitLab, or GitHub, GitLab, CEFGHIJKL. Yeah, and then Google. So it's in alphabetical order, so I love that. Made me very happy. Expected a string. I thought I did enter it as a string. Apple, GitHub. Okay, so I don't think it's mad at the string Apple. I think it's mad at something lower level. Element type is invalid. Okay. So that works. So I think this is indication basically that the Apple button, excuse me, is just not supported yet, or it means that Apple is not the correct string. Let's do one more check in the Supabase UI library. Closing some extra tabs. Okay, so here's the Supabase UI library. And I know that if I search Twitter, I believe, I shouldn't say no, I think that if I search Twitter, I will find the button for Twitter. anyway, there's an icon Twitter. Is there an icon Apple? Maybe it's iOS, maybe it's Mac, or maybe it just doesn't exist. Scanning through these quickly. I don't expect you to be able to read that. Yeah, so basically I don't see anything for Apple or anything like that. That's not quite the string Twitter though. Okay, so here's export const Twitter. Icon import handler. I think this is probably the droid I'm looking for. And okay, no, this is definitely the droid I'm looking for. Okay. Those are just all the icons. Icon import handler, find more icons. And then this is auth specific. I know I saw it. Where'd it go? Right here, auth TSX. So here, something funny going on with Twitter, the control F right now. You see that? It's not showing up even though it's right there. Okay, auth TSX. We are in auth TSX. Okay. And I still do not see Apple. So it seems to me that Apple button is just not done. Unfortunate that the GitHub issue, the user story, as it were, links two separate issues because one of those I'm going to solve and one of those I'm not going to solve, and that's just the way it is. I mean, I'm happy to do all the work. Like, I could make an Apple button, but there's not an Apple icon, so I'd have to get an Apple icon. I don't know if there's like an approval process. I'm afraid of copyright things. I don't know. Could be making up more issues. I could be making up issues. But I'm going to just go for the Twitter fix on the profile currently. Okay, so it's a long way of saying that we're not going to do Apple. Cool. So did I clone my fork yet? Supabase.js, go true, upstream, Supabase again. This is the related to the Apple button. Related to the Twitter button. I'm going to keep this one open just so that I can go to the Supabase UI issues and say that it's resolved once it is resolved. Cool. That's my own issues. This is Google. Oh, we should try Google again with the newer insights that I have that got the GitHub auth to work. And I do want to try the magic button. Forgot your password, or sign in with magic link. Yes, I know you can see my email. I'm not concerned about that. You can also go john@afterecon.com, which is fully open, published on my website, and it forwards there anyway. Bam, got the magic link. I will take this off screen because I have to actually click into my Gmail. But, I mean, basically it just sent it to my Gmail, right? And you click the magic link in your email and it forwards you over here. Close that other tab. Close this one. We don't need it anymore. And I'm signed in now, but this is what we're going to circle back in a minute, because even though I'm signed in, there's no like indication or affordance, I guess is the design term. There's nothing telling me that I am signed in, nothing to indicate or yeah, nothing to. Basically, I wanted to say hi, John, in the top right corner. One other pause point here. How did I even learn about Supabase was from the LogRocket podcast. And now, today, literally, the LogRocket podcast came out talking about InHost, which is a Supabase competitor, except they also have GraphQL. So I scoped it out. I'm actually not super impressed. Not to put anybody down. I will here. Let me follow them on Twitter. They deserve that much, don't they? But the issue is they don't have free tier. That's my issue. And so you go to pricing. It starts at $4 a month. Am I going to pay $4 a month for a GraphQL API? Okay, maybe. However, if you look, it says GraphQL API and Hasura. Really, they do have a value prop when you combine everything, but Supabase has all this stuff except Hasura and GraphQL. Now, the thing is, what if I just roll my own Hasura GraphQL? So Hasura has GraphQL in it. It's a GraphQL engine. What if I just roll my own? Well, that would be free. So if like somebody doesn't know how to work Hasura, then this could be worth it. Or if someone's like, my time is so valuable that, like, you know, if I can cut a day of work into 20 minutes, that justifies a couple of years worth of $4 a month or something like that. So maybe there's like an economic calculation to be done, but basically I'm not into it because they don't have a free tier and I can just roll my own Hasura. And as cool as GraphQL is, it's not a pressing need. Supabase already has ORM-like queries out of the box, including select, insert, upsert, and etc. Also stored procedure calls, which is kind of interesting, and even real-time stuff, which is pretty interesting. And they have, they don't have GraphQL. Okay, so it is a gap. And if I really wanted the real deal GraphQL, I would install Hasura, but I'd roll my own. But they have something which is like a pseudo GraphQL. I'm trying to find it for you real quick. Let me do Supabase queries, basically queries. Query tables, maybe that's where it is. Query tables including filtering, pagination, and deeply nested relationships like GraphQL. And that's accurate. And I can't find the snippet for you. But basically, you get like quasi GraphQL anyway. It's not exactly GraphQL. So if you have like a dependency chain that needs like the real deal GraphQL, it won't work. But for practical purposes on the UI, if I just want to get deeply nested relationships like GraphQL, and if I'm, as a developer, flexible enough to rewrite the syntax, then Supabase is good enough. So, and frankly, I'm kind of a REST guy a lot of times. So GraphQL is cool, but it's not make or break for me. So Supabase is more than good enough for me, and they have forever free tier, or I shouldn't say forever, but at least currently free tier. So I'm sticking with Supabase. Nice try, LogRocket. That was a great tangent. Okay. We're over here. And we are going to clone the repository. Did I already do that? Oh, gosh. Where's my go true? This is the upstream go true. I think I just need to back arrow it. Yeah, so here's my go true. Clone this guy. Okay. Add this guy to my VS Code workspace. Let me keep an eye on chat. Okay. Nobody said anything yet. Cool. Just want to make sure I don't miss y'all. Heading into Memorial Day weekend. I hope y'all are having a good day. I'm going to hopefully get some sleep. And then I'm defending a dissertation on Tuesday. So I think it's on Tuesday. It's on the 1st. It's a Tuesday, right? Yeah. Okay. The change, and this is such a, please don't think I'm awesome. I'm gonna brag about it and make people think I'm awesome, but this is actually like such an easy test. I mean, it's such an easy change. It's a one line change. It's gonna be source. It's in the profiles. Source is in types. Yeah, provider. Or, and here I need to turn off my format on save momentarily because I don't have the same prettier as they do. You know what? Maybe my IDE is smart enough to use their prettier. Yeah, okay, because they got a prettier file up top, right? So they have a prettier file. It says, hey, false on semi, because personally I use the semicolons. So I thought I was going to wreck them, but I didn't wreck them because my plugin used their repository prettier. So thank you. We want to preserve alphabetical, and we just want to say Twitter. And Twitter's at the end of the alphabet. It's not like it's a Z, but it's like it's like pretty close if you inspect the data, as it were. Those letters are the data I'm referring to. Okay, that's it. Now I want to run tests. Make sure I didn't screw anything up in that perspective. So they have a test command. What's the test command? Beep, 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 beep. Clean, build, test. Your test command is test. Bless you people. You guys just rock my socks off. I want into that. I'm not saying that from this stream. Like, go look at my other streams. Supabase is impressive. And they did great on the Log Rocket podcast as well. Yeah, so I think I'd just go straight for the test. I don't think I'd worry about sweet and for clean. I could potentially go for sweet if I wanted to cut down my runtime, but I don't care that much. I do think I need to NPMI. Maybe this is where the web containers is better. Let's give web containers another chance so that I can avoid NPMI. How did I do this? Stackblitz.com. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. I don't want to actually trigger the load on that. It's going to be Vanderveer Go True. Okay? Maybe this is the thing that web containers can do that I actually care about. It avoids me having to clone it and npm install it for small changes that are bigger than a change that you would just go and edit on GitHub. But not much. And specifically, I care about running the tests. That's the thing. If I don't care about running the tests, I might as well just use the GitHub editor. But I want to run the tests, so maybe that's why this is cool. Okay, we have all the installations, and now. I haven't pushed my profile change, so I'm going to have to make that change again. That's fine. Types for Twitter. Okay, save that. And it did reformat the things. Oh, and then it like refreshed my screen. Web container fails. Web container fails. Where's the prettier file? Yeah, it's right there. So the web container can't use the prettier file. So it fails. All right, we're gonna undo this. I want to drop my saved changes. It already generated some kind of branch. So bad. So here I'm going to push without testing to my own fork, and then I'm going to try to use the web container to run the test. This is already so many hops and so cumbersome that web container just fails again. But if I'm really, really desperate not to NPMI, then maybe there's some kind of value there. So this will be feet. And no, there's not, because like if the test fails, I have to come back to local, change it, push it. I'm gonna go ahead and MPY. Web containers just making me sad. Allow Twitter profile. Cool. Push it real good. Push it. Yeah, I'm a 90s boy. Get mad. From the 90s. So that's installing super slow. Super base, super slow. Let's see if I can refresh and pick up the change that I pushed to the repository, or I might have to destroy and restart the whole project. Nope, see it. Yeah, it like persisted its own stuff, which is not what I want. Cool. How do I sync to my upstream? I don't see a good way to do it. Delete. Okay, now we're basically going to go right back here again. And it's going to regenerate the whole project, I hope. No, it just didn't really delete it. Is that what we're seeing? Okay, it did. I don't know what it did. Am I not done? Am I not done pushing? It's like it reloaded it, but it doesn't have this from 2 minutes ago. Right, so I did push it, it's right there. It did regenerate that project too quickly. It's like it cached it or something. Something broken? File a bug. Like, I guess they're just gonna. This is like turning into too much work. Okay. Seems like it caches a deleted project so that new projects from same origin do not have latest code on origin. Okay, there is this, and then steps to reproduce. 1, use the stack blitz URL to generate a project from the GitHub branch. 2, locally clone the GitHub branch, make a code change and push it quickly for me within 5 minutes. Delete your stack blitz project, then immediately recreate it per step 1. Expected behavior is generate a fresh stack blitz project with the latest upstream code, and so that's the expected behavior. But instead, got old code. Seems like stack blitz caches a deleted project so that new projects from the same origin do not have the latest code on origin. Okay. Screenshots are not going to help you. Desktop, there you go. Here you go. And the bug is called possible unexpected project caching. All right. Web containers they just haven't done me good. So this is done installing, so we're going to npm run test. Docker Compose is not recognized. Yeah, I don't think I have Docker Compose installed. So I'm going to pull request him anyway. I should run my tests and be like a good human, but I'm going to pull request him anyway, and hopefully the GitHub agent will trigger a test run on GitHub. Otherwise, yes, I will go install all the Docker things. I thought I had Docker. Okay, not on this computer, I guess. Whatever. Cool. Pull requesty, new pulley. Across forks, my dudes. Yours truly, Van Devere. Get it straight. Get it straight. Get it straight. Create the pull request. Feature allow Twitter profile. What kind of change does this PR introduce? New feature. TypeScript support for already existing Twitter social sign and button. What is the current behavior? Get TS lent errors and breaks builds. Universal. What is the new behavior? When you use Twitter profile in Supabase UI auth component, e.g. Let me give them a snippet so they know what I'm talking about. This guy. Preview that, make sure it's formatted right. This is fine. Right. And so they can see the difference. This is fine, and then this one is not fine. Cool. What's the new behavior? Stuff is good. I know you're mad, but like you already get it, okay? You already get it, so don't even get mad. Allow Twitter profile. No conflicts. I'm gonna hit up Tomato. What's the guy? Mild Tomato. And then we're also going to ref this issue. Okay. Cool. It doesn't seem to trigger an automated build. So like there's a possibility that I could totally break people using GoTrue. So I'm gonna definitely need where's the thinking emoji? I need a thinking emoji. I like the one with the eyeglass more, but this will work. Wow, no automated tests? So I'm going to go ahead and run Docker. I know this is like kind of a rabbit trail, but it will be really bad if I break people who are using GoTrue. So I'm going to go ahead. I think the issue is that I don't like Docker Compose on Windows. I think that's why I don't have it on this computer. I almost want to go. I almost want to go grab my other computer, which already has it. Oh, do I give web containers one more chance? Theoretically, if the caching thing is like, it could just be a lag issue, right? It could just be taking time. It says importing from GitHub, right? So maybe it's doing it again. And it'll get fresh. That's what I hope. This is the smallest change like ever. Hustle it. It's a cool animation though. Give them credit on that. Good job, guys. Stack Blitz, bring in the CSS animations. Okay, source lib. I think it's in types, not constants. Okay, so now it has Twitter. So we'll see if I can run my tests within Stack Blitz. And we might have found a use case for it. If you are having Docker Compose issues on Windows, you can use it to run your test maybe. So this will be npm test. That's it. Illegal option, remove orphans. Okay, I'll just try without remove orphans. Let's do that. cd infra db docker compose down. And you don't have Docker Compose either. Web containers failing me again. Do I have Docker? It's a container, and it doesn't have Docker. Web containers for the lose. All right, I'll get my Docker container. I'll get my own Docker Compose. Maybe I should use the Linux subsystem. Do I still have that? Windows subsystem for Linux. Okay, that didn't work. I had Windows subsystem for Linux at one point. All right, let's just do it. Hopefully they're better now than they used to be, and it's not that bad. Oh, WSL2 backend. So they're actually using WSL like behind the scenes or something. It's kind of cool. It's going to have the engine, the client. It's going to have Docker Compose. Okay, that's what I need to know. Because sometimes I've had to install Docker Machine and Docker Compose separately. All right, cool. So in the meantime, what have we done? We have confirmed that my sign-in worked. But I want an affordance or an indicator that sign-in is going through. 333, that seems lucky, huh? Lucky. So how do I know that I'm logged in? We'll go back to not using Twitter for now until everything's like approved and such. I think it's getting stored as a header, maybe. That's how I'll know, because like my Supabase request will get approved, basically. Let's add a column. So what I would like it to do is know my first and last name. So I signed in from GitHub. So do you know my first and last name because I signed in from GitHub? I would like to add a table. So I can't really add a table here, huh? add a column. We just have we just have UID and email. Okay. So I'm gonna have like a separate. I'm gonna have like a separate user meta table. 21 columns. Why I didn't see them? Okay. Name. First name. The human user's first name. Type's going to be a string or character. Variable character. I guess I can make it a non-variable. Are you sure you want to close the painter? Yes. I'm going to try. Oh, it says character varying. Okay. Variable character. But what's your length? I guess you don't have to define a length because you're varying. I don't know. I kind of thought you still defined a length, huh? First name. The first name of the person. Just trying to avoid the apostrophe. So let's do a variable character. Define as array, no. Default value, allow empty. Foreign-key relation, nah. That's it. That's pretty easy. So now we got first name, the first name of the person. Extensions, that's cool. Address standardizer, oh yeah, buddy. Parse and address into constituent elements, generally used to support geocoding. Yep. Yeah, one day I'll get people's addresses because we're going to be shipping to people. I don't think I need this stuff right now, though. It's functions for tracking who changed a table. No. Client for post web page retrieval. Nope. Okay, I don't think I need any of this stuff. What I was hoping for was that, hey, Supabase people, if you're watching, what I was hoping for here is an extension, which is enhanced social data, okay? So when I sign in from GitHub, you should be able to tell that my name is John. You see, signed, or maybe you call me Vanderveer, whatever. But you should be able to, there's some like additional information that you can get from social login, whether it be Twitter API has like your bio and stuff. So if you could help me pull that in, that would be an awesome extension. Just letting you know. Okay. So we have users, John, but I want to see the username. You're not going to show me the username? I guess that's not what this view is for. This is like a user management with there's like a limited scope here. Like this authentication piece is limited in scope to authentication, right? So first name, it's great, it's user data, but it's not authentication data, and that's why it doesn't appear here. That's how I'm justifying this to myself. Table editor should totes have it. Yeah. Another thing, Supabase, like why the table editor doesn't show my current tables. That would be nice. I guess I should delete first name. And I'll have a separate user profile table. I've seen that done sometimes. I don't always really like it, but the separation of concerns is like, because they're saying we have a secure schema. Did you see that? It said stores login data within a secure schema. well, if I add a column, I could be altering schema. So let's keep it separated. So do a new table, and this will be called user profile, or like user meta. Information about the user would be user meta. I like that. User or user account, user profile, user meta. None of this stuff matters, does it? I shouldn't be wasting time. I'm just wondering. I'm going to call it user settings. User settings. I'm going to call it user details. How about that? User stuff not captured in main user table. Add existing content to new table. No, well, only insofar as there's a foreign key to the user. Primary key, yup. This is all good. Paste text, upload CSV. That's not what I want to do. Okay. Adding primary key column undefined. Primary key column undefined. That was weird. All right, so here's the primary key. And now I want to add, this will be first name. First name of the user. It's a variable character. Allow empty. Foreign key relation. User. I want the foreign key relation on the user table. This is super weird. I can't connect it to my user table. None. User details. That's it. That's all she wrote. Okay. I guess I can do the other direction. User UUID. Database. Yup. Tables. Now we have users and user details. Y'all need to relate to each other. So I guess I'll edit this because I couldn't edit the other. So this will be called fkey user details. It's going to be a one-way. That's like super gross. I guess I'll always start with this user table and work out from there, so that's fine. Look up user details for user row. I think it's going to be an int. What was it, an int 8, I think. Because now what I want it to do is create both rows every time. This is like not smooth. This is a friction point, Supabase. You want to smooth out the friction points, smooth this out. Because now I'm going to have to manage. Whenever the one is created, I'm going to have to manually create the other and like check if it exists, if it doesn't exist. So that's why it should just be one row. All right, so I'm like flipping back and forth, but I think I'm going to flip back to putting it here, putting the first name here. so that I know that all those details are getting initialized. That's how I can ensure that all those details are getting initialized, because it's in the same row. I'm just not seeing anything that would handle this automatically for me. Okay. So we're editing the user table, which kind of makes sense because it is user data, user details. It can be here. Stores user login data within a modified secure schema. Customized. A customized schema. Relation public.users does not exist. That's a PostgreSQL error. You guys, that's bad. What if I refresh within a secure schema? If I refresh, did it get updated? Nope, still says within a secure schema. All right, Supabase flag, Supabase flag. Cool. So we're just gonna make first name. Description optional, yeah. It's gonna have to be, right? Variable, character. Variable, character. It is. Cool. So now, oh yeah, is Docker done installing? Close and restart. Restart Windows to complete the installation. See, Docker, this is why I can't deal with you. All right, I'm gonna close the stream there. So I'm gonna restart and run my test. But y'all got the gist, right? The main point was to do that Twitter pull request, and then I can get my social sign-in button. And then I'll do this offline, but between now and the next log, you'll know what happened is that there's going to be some kind of indication or affordance that you're logged in. Specifically right here, it should say, hello, John. And if I have not yet captured your name, I will either generate a name, I might generate a name, or I might give you a modal that says, hey, this is your first time user experience, and ask you to input your name. But even then, I wouldn't want to drive people away by requiring it. So I would make it, I might show that modal, but I'd make it optional. Or I might say hello vandeveer@gmail.com. I might use your email as a fallback username. And I might also split it at the @ sign. So just say hello Vandeveer spelled thusly, because it's vandeveer@gmail.com, but it's spelled that way. So I might do that. Yeah, and so it'll say hello, and then also when you click here, it should not talk about signing in, it should talk about signing out. And then I also want to have a way to get to your profile where you can update your username. So I think those are the things I'm going to do between now and the next stream. And I hope to see you then.